Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. That was pretty much the longest Thanksgiving I've ever had. Days of Our Lives is a show about days that go on forever. Yet even while everyone was running around town plotting, confronting, fighting, and generally going about their daily lives, it felt like the holiday would never finish. By Friday, at least, a new day had arrived, along with some noticeable wrinkles for Sloan, Dimitri, and Konstantin. It has been difficult for Nicole to watch as everyone around her treats her like a crazy mother, even though we all know that Nicole is convinced Sloan stole her child. It has been difficult to witness, in the greatest possible way, the looks of sympathy while everyone in her life brushes off her emotions. She feels like she's finally getting people to listen to her. So she's thrilled to do the DNA test. But it's upsetting that they're all just trying to get her to quiet up. Ariane Zucker is still doing incredible work on this. However, I appreciate that she was able to identify the issues straight away. This is the point in the story where I think it becomes more of a complete circle than a stale recap. While I understand that not everyone is in agreement, Salmi should have known better than to let Nicole get away with doing this to her. It interacts and plays with the past. Furthermore, Holly was a fantastic character choice to come up with the idea. I like that she's a younger, cunning Nicole. But if the program didn't temper her with empathy and sincere concern, they might do what seems to happen too frequently. They might damage her character from the beginning. She will get a lot of brownie points to counteract her worst tendencies if she is ultimately the one who defeats Sloan and reunites her baby brother with his true family, aside from Eric, that is. However, Tate really eludes me. While I understand that boys in their teens may be desperate to win over a girl, setting Holly up to win Johnny over is a terrible plan. Unless, just like us, he's trying to be the shoulder she sobs on when he's convinced it won't work. Still, though, he must be falling in love with someone else in Salem. It really isn't worth it. Regarding the DNA test, I'm not sure how it will be stopped, but I'm positive it will. Although it's too soon to call off this drama, I'm hoping that it will all blow out in a big way along with EJ and Nicole's DNA testing, in due course. I don't want it to be a continual tease, as I mentioned last week. To obtain a larger payout, let it stew for a little while. I still harbor the hope that Holly may eventually play a role in thwarting Sloan. Additionally, cease abusing Nicole in this manner. This unintended gaslighting is harsh. In fact, I believe there should be a new word for it, as gaslighting is by definition purposeful. I apologize, Sloan, but I didn't get your logic when you suggested that Dimitri should turn himself in. The charges against Leo are far less serious without the murder charge. And since he assisted Nicole in giving birth, a good attorney who isn't called Sloan might still be able to clear him without Dimitri turning himself in. The two may then run off and live happily ever after. However, it's endearing that Dimitri is prepared to give up everything for Leo. Perhaps he is not a complete sociopath. However, that relies on the outcome of the knock on his door. For some reason, I have a sense that will make him reconsider the plan. What's the reason for Chad's intense and filthy battle for a relationship that he doesn't even appear to want? Man, let go. Telling Stephanie he's going to let past grievances go after forcing Xander to fire Everett was some serious sociopathy. Then the fictitious, "Oh, you were fired?" That is really depressing. Wishing you luck, my friend. Give it up. Stephanie and Everett click well together. Stephanie entered into a relationship with Chad despite his baggage, which stems from her Everett past. I questioned whether Xander purposefully put Chad in a bad position by informing Everett that Gwen came up with the plan, giving him the opportunity to confront Gwen and potentially learning the truth about what actually transpired. However, after giving it some more thinking, I don't think she will. After lionizing Leo, she was glad to see Everett canned, so she sold Chad her share of the paper. Why then would she not support Chad? Forget about Everett. Speaking of Leo, There was a discussion in the soaps.com offices regarding the merits of Stephanie's public relations approach in elevating him to the status of a folk hero versus being irritating. Particularly that one about Nicole giving birth on her own without Leo and Dimitri, even though she wouldn't have gone into labor if they hadn't collided with her. Is Maggie becoming less intelligent, or is she simply more susceptible? I've watched people argue this, and my preference is more toward vulnerable. After her second husband, whom she loved dearly, was just buried, Constantine has taken advantage of her grief. The good news is that, although still restrained by her generosity in offering to settle his debt, we witnessed her edge return with a vengeance as she cast Constantine aside following his false mafia story. However, I only became aware of a significant plot flaw this past week. Why would Constantine expect to be in Victor's will if the two were enemies and Victor expected his loan to be repaid? And why would he make these plans if he was that furious about not being in it? Or is he merely using all of this to steal Victor's money out of pure hatred, having lied to the reset as well? Was there something I missed? Thinking he's so smart, Constantine talked himself out of the Kyriakis residence. Wonderful. Though his time must be running out, he's not finished yet. Firstly, Gwen's constant mention of the Everett situation seems to be implying that she will return shortly, which implies Theresa, played by Emily O'Brien, must be departing soon. Furthermore, Steve won't let up on this and has already broken Constantine's tight hold on Maggie. He'll soon be able to liberate the man and send him packing. Goodbye too. Maybe it's because I'm a mythology geek, but Maggie doesn't seem like the kind of person who would have trouble pronouncing or understanding who Persephone is. I thought it was hilarious that Maggie mentioned Constantine's borrowing from a criminal when discussing the Greek mafia. Since I'm very certain that his loan from Victor qualifies as a loan from a felon. What I'm observing, and what I'm welcoming because it seems to be a lot like real life, Klein said, is Stephanie's ability to change into a more sophisticated mode of thought. She always seems to be wanting to grow and may be extremely introspective, but I find it fascinating to watch her perhaps go back a little. I appreciate that she is a non-linear illustration of growth. Though not in a straight line, she is making progress. After losing her independence, Stephanie now lives with her parents, from not trusting men to becoming enamored with a womanizer such as Alex. From moving on with Chad, possibly more quickly than he is comfortable with, to continuing to be in contact with people who have wronged her, like Everett and Alex. Life isn't all growth and progress. We occasionally need to move around a little as we work out who we are. Furthermore, sometimes what appears to be going backward might actually be going forward. Despite his insistence that he has moved on, we get the impression that's what Everett is hoping. Klein pondered. I think it's interesting to watch that Stephanie is trying when it comes to relationships, especially, but before she can go to the next level, she might revert back to old programming. However, I value it about her because I honestly believe it to be typical. However, if you're hoping to contribute here, fear not, Stephanie's actor is as well. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.